Welcome to the June 26th podcast, the episode where we talk about stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Do that?
Happened. What?
You weren't supposed to tell him that. Well, now everyone knows.
We're going to talk about stuff. That's happened.
Hopefully it will be gaming related.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Well, the question I want to start out with, and I want a 15-second answer. If you've seen it, have you seen Man of Steel, and did you like it? And we'll start with Tristan, because he's on my screen.
So much pressure. Okay, I did like it. It was actually the one Superman movie I did like. However, in the end, it was cool that they did have the balance of Superman's powers with the part of him getting his butt kicked. But in the end, I still think Batman is better, considering he can take down the entire Justice League. He did the Justice League new video. 15 seconds done, go.
I can't follow that.
I don't think you could follow it even how fast I was talking. I don't think that was the thing. I liked it, but in the end, I still prefer Batman. But it was still a good movie. I highly recommend people to go see it.
I saw it. It was good. I really don't have any kind of complaints with it. I wonder where they're going to go with the next one. The end.
Yeah, it was good. It was almost great. I really liked it. It was probably one of my favorite Superman movies. Up until the very, very end, they built this real world, and then it lost me at the very last minute of the movie.
I could see that.
Justin?
You can't tell he's Superman with glasses on. Sorry, I didn't want to spoil that. But yeah, I saw it and I liked it. Yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. I think I liked it overall. There were a couple things, I guess. I don't know. I thought they did some of the things really well. So it's probably as best as you could do Superman in real life. Probably.
I agree.
Okay.
You just skip over me. I haven't seen it, so.
All right.
The end. Done.
James?
What Justin just said kind of was profound. Like, it's
No.
like I enjoyed it. I didn't necessarily love it, but like I guess I would agree it's the best they can do. Being Superman.
Compared to like the other Superman movies, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he should have kept the beard. I think he would have been more intimidating if he just had that big scruffy beard, still wearing like the Superman suit.
Yeah.
Okay, now into gaming news.
Oh.
I guess we can start with something non-Nintendo related. I guess the big news is the Xbox One backtracked totally. Basically. So that's about it. So now I'm not ashamed to kind of like it. Because it's still a little bit expensive.
James, it sounds like you're forcing that answer. I'm not ashamed that I don't have to.
I get it. Because it's like, from everything they said before the whole Switch, it sounds like this couldn't have been an instantaneous decision. Like, I didn't think they could be like, okay, no DRM, no 24-hour online check-ins. I thought they would have had all these contracts with all these developers.
Yeah.
But in the end, it's a Switch.
Well, yeah. Did you remember the quote they said that the DRM is built into the system, and it's not like they can just flip a switch and turn it off, and then they flip the switch and turn it off. But I was gonna say it's interesting because everyone hated the DRM stuff, and so they got rid of it, and there was actually a pretty big backlash of them switching roles, and I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah. Well, it was kind of unprecedented. Like, I can't think of another time in the gaming industry where there's been a company that's backtracked quite like that. Yeah. So, yeah. And most people didn't expect it in the first place, and then when it happened, they were all kind of shell-shocked, and then they started getting used to it, and then, like, by the time people get used to it, they're like, oh, wait, no. It's like Microsoft, if you waited like another week, I mean, even leading up to launch, people would have forgotten about it. They would have, mainstream people would have cared less, whatever, So it's just kind of funny seeing them, seeing that it was that big of a deal.
I feel like it's like some guy going to his girlfriend that just recently broke up with him, saying, "No, no, baby, I can change, and just like trying to win them back." But ultimately, it's just time to move on. It's time to meet other people, try other things, maybe stay in touch.
Yeah.
And this is one thing I've wanted to say for a while, but I've had no outlet to say it. Is let's be honest, both Nintendo, Sony, everyone wanted something like this. It just Microsoft was the only ones that had the guts to almost stop used games. But deep down, everyone wants it.
Mm-hmm.
So like Matt said, it may not be this generation, but it could be next or the generation after that. It's coming. It's just, as of right now, you saw the reaction. It didn't go very well. Maybe nothing that extreme. Maybe there could be a nice little ground between what Microsoft was wanting to do and then what people actually do.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I could see it working. They just have to promote it the right way. They have to, like, hey, you can have your full digital library. We allow you to access it from any device. You can, have a bunch of features that go along with it. You can share it with any of your friends. You can let them rent it for a few days or something. Like stuff like that. You can add to it. And sure, there's DRM underneath it. They obviously can't copy and keep the game, but if you market it right, in 5 years' time, when everything's mostly digital, people are like, "Oh yeah, cool, sure, that works."
Now, did Microsoft completely get rid of it, or did they do what Sony did? And Sony got rid of it, but it's up to the third parties. And so, if a third party still wanted to implement DRM, they still could do it for their games.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
Here's the question: like, if Microsoft just had, if they never announced the check-in every 24 hours, and they just had the used game policy, what do you think it went over as badly? Like, people would have forgiven the used game part and like, okay, as long as we don't have to check in every 24 hours and all that stupid thing.
I think there still would have been a huge backlash about it.
Yeah.
I mean, not everybody can afford to buy $60 titles over and over and over again.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because there was still a big backlash even at the beginning when we didn't know about the check-in and all that stuff. But I think that just exacerbated the problem. But yeah.
Like, who doesn't like a cheaper game?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, when I looked for The Last of Us today, like, yeah, the game just came out, but I've gone to game stores before, and even though the game is phenomenal, someone like returns it the next day after, and I'm like, even if it's like $5-10, sure, I'll take it. I'll take whatever I can get,
Yeah. Well, that's what's interesting about this is the whole price of the games, because weren't some people speculating that the price of the games was supposed to be lower because of this DRM stuff?
It should be if it.
Yeah, you think it should be, so maybe $40 or $50 or something like that. So there was a potential benefit, but Microsoft didn't even come out and say that at the beginning. It's hard to announce something like that and not announce a benefit that impacts people, because that would clearly impact people. If they said, "Hey, we're doing this used DRM stuff, trying to get rid of used game sales, blah blah blah," but games are only going to be $40. They're going to be $20 cheaper than the games you buy right now on 360. Then that changes, I think, a lot. But I honestly don't think that they had determined a price for Xbox One games to begin with, so there wasn't really a way they could promise it. I don't know.
Here's one thing. I just thought of this, and I just thought of this. What if they did it in the future where they did get rid of used games? But let's say they did this: go out into the store, you buy the physical copy, it's $60. Buy it digital, it's a little bit cheaper. Because like a part of that money, I guess, would go into the creation of the disc and the creation of that small little plastic box. You almost think that's where part of the cost goes into.
Yeah, but the hardest thing with that is that people like Walmart feel like they're getting gypped.
Oh, that's right.
It's cutting sales out of them, and so. But if it starts skewing where less people buy physical copy, then they would be less reliant on Walmart, so they couldn't have big a say. But I do know right now people like Walmart and Best Buy have a huge say in why we can't have sales digital copies.
Yeah. And they push back on that, and that's why digital games are the same price on the eShop as they are.
Right.
But I don't think they should be. I agree with you, Tristan.
Yeah.
Thanks. If that was the case, I'd just buy it all digital. Like, as much as I love like looking on my shelf and seeing like the game there, I would, if it saved me a little bit extra, sure, I'd just buy the digital.
Yeah, and if anything, this is kind of like a stopgap between full, getting rid of used game sales and what we have right now. It's like, oh, the developers can get a little extra money from digital sales because it's exactly the same as retail, but it doesn't cost them as much to offer it.
I think it's
Wii U is cheaper than the physical one, right?
Yeah.
On eShop is $20, but if you go out to the store, it's gonna be $25.
$30, I think. It's like
$30
$10 extra.
Yeah, Super Luigi.
Yeah, but that's because you don't have to have a standalone. You don't have to have Mario.
Yeah.
What's-
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that's kind of weird though. I mean, like you get new Super Luigi U, but that's it. I mean, like it almost makes more sense to download it because you have both right there. I mean, personally, I keep seeing that green box and the fact it's Luigi on there. Yeah, that tantalizes me, wanting me to get it, but I already have it, so it's one of those things.
Yeah.
I want to get that. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, but I do agree with what you said, seeing as though I think Microsoft kind of really did the thing that everyone else was wanting to do. Obviously, the reception was not the best, but that doesn't mean that it won't make an appearance again, but maybe via a different strategy. I mean, like everyone has tried one thing, it was terrible, but then they came back with it and it worked. I mean, Nintendo, the Virtual Boy, 3D graphics, awful. Came back with the 3DS, practically in a way perfected it or improved upon it greatly. Who says they can't just give it a few years later, actually do some more planning? I'm sure they can come out with a system that is agreeable to both themselves as a company and as well to the market.
Also, I also want to say that think about Xbox One and how Microsoft treated it, and then think about how Sony treated the PS3. They came out of that generation being so arrogant, so pompous that they sort of lost perspective, and I kind of feel like that's how Microsoft is treating this generation. Like the 360 is so incredible, they have an extra 40, 50 million units that they didn't have for the original Xbox. So I felt like they were in complete control, and I think people saw through that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And they certainly didn't get off on the right foot with that whole Adam Orth Twitter fiasco.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Twitch TV.
What was the thing?
That was where Adam Orth came on. He said, "Oh shoot, people are just gonna deal with the 24-hour check-in."
Yeah, where he's basically talking about always online too.
Yeah.
So he's like, "Do you use your vacuum cleaner without electricity?" Or he made like some weird, analogies.
Do you guys not?
Yeah.
I thought everyone did this.
I just push it around and
I have a steampunk vacuum cleaner. It's a steampunk one. It's all in steam.
Yeah.
Push it around and make the noise.
Yeah.
my dog loves it.
He still barks at it, runs away.
Yeah, it was pretty silly, and
Yes, that was.
he was basically trying to say internet is like another utility nowadays. That if you have power and water, you should also have internet. It's a default thing. Which, in an ideal world, sure, but that's not realistic. And
Everyone has power and water still.
yeah,
That's
exactly.
Yeah. Well, what's crazy, even where I live, every once in a while, I'll have to go a couple hours without power, or even a day. I mean, without internet.
How do you do it, man? How do you do it?
Play my Nintendo games.
That's right.
And then the Nintendo dies, and then it's like the Twilight Zone.
Yeah. But yeah, the snafu, he ended up getting fired.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Like what, a week after that?
A week after, yeah, basically.
That's rough.
Because he was basically ranting against these Twitter people. It blew up, and then Microsoft axed him.
Yeah.
Dude, that's kind of rough, almost in a way, stating your opinion, but
Well, because he also came out and people say, well, what about these, towns in the Midwest? And he goes, oh, I couldn't imagine living in a place like that.
Yeah, he was basically.
all right, now that's a low blow.
Yeah, he didn't handle it well at all. He was pretty dumb.
God only knows what he says about people from Kentucky.
I think he may have resigned, or I thought he did something like that.
I could probably see resigning. Resigning is usually the professional way of, I'm going to totally go do something else. And,
It was like a forced resignation. So.
yeah, one of those things.
Mhm. Yeah, but-
So on to some Nintendo news.
Yay!
Happy.
I'll wear my hat.
Uh,
So there was a lot of interviews floating around in and out of E3, and I found a few quotes that I found interesting.
Ooh.
One, you guys heard about Miyamoto talk about F-Zero,
Oh yeah, that was really good.
and I'll just go ahead and read it because I thought it was very interesting. I guess they asked him about an F-Zero game, and he's like, "I certainly understand that people want a new F-Zero game. I think where I struggle is I don't really have a good idea for what's new that we could bring to F-Zero that would really turn into a great game again. Certainly I see how people looking at Mario Kart 8 could see through the anti-gravity connection of F-Zero, but I don't know at this point what direction we could go with a new F-Zero. What do you guys think of that?
F-Zero Double Dash. The end.
What?
F-Zero Double Dash. Could you imagine having Captain Falcon on your back running on, and you can just Falcon punch the guy to your like next to you? It'd be perfect. It's brilliant.
To me, it's do you really need to reinvent the wheel with F-Zero?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, improved graphics, gameplay, frame rate, all that stuff. That's something everybody could agree on.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't think there has to be like this, this golden,
New add-on kind of feature thing.
this new golden element that just pushes it over the edge. I think just a high quality F-Zero game for the Wii U is just what people are looking for.
Yeah.
I could dig it. I mean, like, no. Oh, go ahead.
Well, and maybe that's what they'll end up doing. You know, kind of like with Star Fox 64 3D. You know, F-Zero GX is widely considered the best game in the series, or at least it, pushed it in every single way since the Super Nintendo one. So I could see them just doing like an HD version of that, and if that's what people want, then then they don't have to come up with some new idea.
Yeah. Well, I'm wondering how did the old game sell? Because I remember the
original
GameCube.
F-Zero?
Well, I remember the GameCube one didn't do all that well.
Yeah, it was kind of a slow burner, I think.
Because I thought it was somewhere like 700,000-800,000 or something like that.
Really? Wow. Didn't they have like an arcade version of it? Like
Yeah.
an actual, I thought there was something you could bring your memory card or something and like actually put it in the machine and do something with that.
Yeah, F-Zero AX.
That's right.
and I think if they were to just come out with like Matt was saying, a really pretty F-Zero that plays really well, I think that it could possibly sell. That's the one thing that with Nintendo lately, with I guess the Wii and the Wii U, they feel like all the new games that they come out with have to be innovative in some way.
Yeah.
When sometimes it's just as simple as give us the game and we'll go buy it.
Mm-hmm. But with
Well,
online
it's-
play.
Yeah, online play needs to be part
Oh,
of it.
That's a must-have, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not exactly sure where this need to be new come from. If you think about Smash Bros. Brawl with Smash Brothers, Melee with Smash Ball, basically. Mario Kart with Glider or Double Dash with two people. Like, there's not big game-changing changes in these games. Just,
Yeah. Although with
what is he
Brawl,
looking for?
with Brawl, each iteration they add different moves like tripping, mid-air dodging, stuff like that, which sort of changes the.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, went ahead and pulled up the sales for F-Zero GX.
Mm-hmm.
650,000.
Oh, jeez. That's bad.
Yeah, so it is kind of like a cult favorite. Not really.
I could see that, yeah. I totally agree with. I totally agree with you all said it. Especially, I mean, like you look at the other games, like I guess in a way, New Super Mario Brothers, the original one was go back to your roots, bring it kind of back up. Donkey Kong Country Returns, perfect example of that. There was a slight twist to it, but essentially we just got a prettier looking Donkey Kong on our consoles. I think if we did the same thing for that and maybe Star Fox, I think it'd be something great. I want a new Star Fox game, J Money. Don't you be laughing at me. I've been dying for one. But I think that'd be great if they went back to that. I mean, like, the only, I guess you could say, gimmick, I hate using that word, steer with a gamepad. But I think if I saw an HD F-Zero I would go out and get it. I would go out and get it, and I'd play it, and I'd play online with you guys, and I would beat you all online.
You can beat us in Mario Kart, right?
Challenge.
Shut up! You leave Mario Kart out of this. But yeah, I think it just could. I mean, like, just throw it back on there. Nothing fancy, just prettier graphics. I'd play it. I think even a general populace would. Even newcomers who've never heard of F-Zero, I think they'd pick it up.
Yeah, I think Nintendo has yet to tap online play as a innovative gameplay feature. You know, I think they still think it's just a curiosity. You know, like interesting online play. Meh. You know, it's not really. They haven't really focused on what games could benefit from it the most.
Well, if you look at some of the most popular games, a lot of people play those online most of the time. So.
Yeah. So I think if they start thinking of online play as an innovative gameplay mechanic, then I think that'll help, because we can get Star Fox, we can get F-Zero, we can get
Here's what they need to do with F-Zero, though. I just figured it out.
Yeah.
F-Zero, the prettiest graphics they can do. 12 to 16, maybe 20 characters. 12, 16, maybe tracks, but fully customizable track editor. Completely share online. You race with friends, but then you have tournament modes. And so you create these tournaments, and you can all put in your own tracks and everything. But I think that could create this awesome community for F-Zero.
That would be interesting.
Like F-Zero with Trackmania almost.
Yeah, exactly. Because some of the tracks are pretty simple. It's just crazy loops, sharp turns, like...
Yeah. Be able to do cylindrical tracks.
And,
yeah, that'd be pretty sweet.
And it'd be cool if you could post your tracks for anyone else to play. It'd be cool if all of us sat down together and we just spent a few hours making the most hectic track ever, and just see if people can get the best time. From this day to this day, if you can get the best time, we'll give you a little prize, maybe.
Yeah, share it via QR code and be good to go.
There you go. Yeah,
that'd be pretty sweet.
Nintendo, you watching?
You listening? Yeah.
And moving on to the next quote, this is from Miyamoto. And I want to start out saying that I actually talked about this during E3, so I was happy to actually see this from him.
James was listening to you.
He was. He's talking about developing more games internally. And they asked him about E3, how some people may have been disappointed with what they show, and he's like, it is tough. We come to a show and we bring a lot of great franchises. Everyone says, oh, well, where's this game I want to play, or where is that something new? And he goes on, he's like, I only have so much capacity. And he goes, obviously in the past we tried to work with other companies, Star Fox F-Zero, but the more we think about it, the more we want to do things internally. And he's like, well, obviously, as I mentioned, been working on what we can do to increase the internal staff in a way that will allow us to do more projects in the same amount of time. So we can create new games and work on additional old IP and still maintain the other primary franchise that people want to see. And that is, I guess I won't say the problem is this Nintendo has, is that when you think about it, how many Nintendo games do we have that are coming out that came out from Wii launch to the next year that they worked on for the Wii U?
Yeah, I don't even remember.
Pikmin.
Nintendo Land.
Nintendo Land.
Mario?
Yeah, Mario. Mario and Nintendo Land were their only launch games, right?
Yes, I believe so.
And then Game & Wario.
Yeah.
That's 4. New Super Luigi U, 5.
Now they have another Mario. We're going to Mario Kart.
Yeah, Mario Kart.
We're working on Smash Brothers. Donkey Kong.
Smash Bros. Yeah, but really just 7 in the last year.
Animal Crossing.
6. Yeah, Animal Crossing. Yeah, that's the thing. They do handheld and there's a lot.
So they're doing. So we're respecting all these games, but there's these games that they had to hit, and someone mentioned this during E3 that they hit all the games that they needed to hit during E3.
Yeah.
They did another Mario game. They hit Donkey Kong. They hit Smash Brothers.
Zelda.
They hit everything they needed to hit. Now that's somewhat out of the way, even though those games aren't even out yet. Some of them are way further down. They mentioned the games they had to mention. Now they're actually getting these games out fairly early in the life cycle.
That's interesting. So the obligatory games. That's interesting.
Exactly. Like Smash Brothers could be within less than 2 years. That's fairly quick. Mario Kart's could be year and a half ish.
So do you think that as the Wii U life cycle continues in the future, that we could see maybe some new things coming from them then? Now that they've got kind of like this must-have stuff out of the way?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it'd be cool if we got smaller games like an F-Zero, but almost like a light version. Even just to test the water. Like not a fully expansive, but like smaller projects that of well-known franchises.
Like a $15 eShop game, F-Zero eShop game?
Yeah, something like that.
Interesting.
Yeah, it could be interesting.
I think we have... Well, go ahead.
Kind of interesting to start out with maybe a small title like you're talking about, but then if it gets popular enough, say, okay, well now we're going to start releasing some DLC packs for this. So by the time you buy all the DLC and everything that goes along with it, you can have really that full-fledged game that you were looking for initially.
And then once all the DLC comes out, then you've got a boxed retail version with the whole thing.
There you go.
Yeah, I like that.
Oh, go ahead.
Who's going ahead?
You go ahead, Matt.
Okay. DLC is really a model that Nintendo needs to start embracing this console generation.
Yeah.
I mean,
Agreed.
hopefully, the numbers are pretty good for Super Luigi U, and that just kind of encourages them. They're doing pretty good with 3DS and supporting those games using DLC, but I haven't seen much in terms of Wii U DLC. I've seen a couple. WayForward had some. Tecmo Koei had some, and then Nintendo's got some. Nothing really past that, I think.
Hopefully for Mario Kart, there's something.
I'm going to be and Smash Brothers too. I mean, like that interview with Sakurai was saying, I can only put so many characters because we have such a allotted amount of time, and that's why I'm thinking, well, then make the game, make the final product, and on the side, get some new characters or stages in there. That's the great thing about DLC. It's no matter how long the game is, you can keep in a way, expanding on that game.
Well, in some of these games like Smash Brothers and stuff, people play like forever. So it's not like you just put out a couple DLC packs and people don't care anymore. They can release DLC for a long period of time and still make quite a bit of money off of it.
Yeah.
How many hours playing Melee? God.
That's a dangerous question.
Yeah. I really I have my memory card, and I really don't want to look at how many total hours come out. Be like, God, it's like there's like a chunk of my life worth it.
Yeah, totally worth it.
Totally.
Yeah, and I hope people, a lot of people at E3, what was it? Kotaku said something like, I think they were interviewing Miyamoto, and they said like, so we saw that you played it safe, and because they announced all these existing franchises, and Miyamoto's like, I don't understand what you're saying.
That's kind of rude, actually. That's kind of rude.
Oh yeah, it's a pretty pointed question, but and what's kind of silly about it is, people are always dogging Nintendo. Oh, they milk their franchises, but honestly, how many games come out in each of these franchises per console life cycle? I mean, they had 2 Galaxy games, so 2 mainline 3D Mario games for Wii. They had 1 2D Mario. They had 1 Mario Kart. Whereas you look at a franchise like Assassin's Creed, you've got 1 or 2 games per year for the last 5 years.
Well, Zelda's a great example of that too.
Yeah.
It's like almost won the console.
Yeah.
So it's like, people that say it's milking, I was like, no. Look at pretty much all the other third-party games and all these DLC packs and season passes. Then you'll see people milking the franchise.
Definitely.
It's part of that Nintendo dilemma that James wrote about, where you've got Nintendo with 30 different IPs and characters, and so it's like, even if they spend like 1 franchise and they do 1 per year for 30 years, people are still going to say they're milking their franchises. Anyways, my point being that if Nintendo had done at least 1 new IP at E3, debuted something different or something new, then people wouldn't have people wouldn't have said that at all. You know, they're like, oh, Nintendo tried something different, and they've got all these great, games that we love.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's also kind of rude just to call it milking it. I mean, when I was at E3 and I was like, wait, so we're getting a new Mario World, kind of Super Mario World 3D Land. We're getting a Mario Kart. We're getting a new Donkey Kong, a new handheld Zelda game, another Mario Luigi game, Pikmin 3, Zelda Wind Waker HD. Like all these games are naming off. I'm thinking Christmas came early as well as did my birthday. I mean, to me, I was ecstatic. I was thinking, does this ever happen in Nintendo history, having all these major lovable characters?
Yeah.
Just bam, here are their games. You love it, of course.
And I think what Reggie was saying about just playing the games, because I think people like Kotaku, they get, maybe not like them, but they get a little jaded. They haven't played their Wii U in a while. Okay, what's going to entice them? Okay, and they just write it off before even trying or even giving it a fair chance. And if you honestly give it a fair chance, you would start to realize how much time and effort and love got put into these games. But I feel like they just write it off because they can. Because it's, okay, Donkey Kong, check that box, we're done. And I just don't think they take the time and energy.
Understand. And also, I mean, like, again, that thing, what matters is how you feel when you play the game. Whenever I play, like, an Xbox game or a PlayStation game, I'm having a good time, but I have kind of this serious look on my face, like I'm focused. But when I play like a Nintendo game, like Mario or something, I'm still focused, but I'm smiling the entire time while I play it. And I think it's just like a Nintendo thing. I mean,
well, what about Mario Kart, Tristan? When you finish sixth place?
Low blow. That's a low blow. Wait, if I'm mistaken, were you not the one that was? No, that was Ben. That was Eli. No, that was Eli. That was Eli too. That was on my team. Shy guy. Yeah. Remember, guys, he got so excited when he got third place. It was great.
Yeah.
Eli, if you're watching this, don't hurt me. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you were a good racer, pal.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's kind of interesting. Did you guys see the Conan going to E3, his little montage?
Yeah.
It was kind of funny. I mean, he ended with Nintendo, which may or may not be significant, but at least in his progression of comedy as he was going, he kind of touched on some serious points, where he's like, oh yeah, Microsoft and Sony, they have all these serious games, and then when he hopped over to Nintendo's booth, and the first, it showed him playing Mario Kart, and he's like, let's go over to Nintendo's booth to have some fun, And so it's kind of interesting where it's like even Conan, who is not really a gamer, and he says it all the time, and he's very adamant about that point, is he knows Nintendo's fun. All their games are supposed to be fun, and he played Mario Kart and had a great time and all that. But it was just kind of funny, like watching his progression at the other two consoles, and he's like, did you see like the little thought bubbles? Like while the PlayStation guy and the Microsoft guy were talking about their system, he was thinking about other games or booth babes or something. Basically, like, yeah, you're boring me. But when he got into Nintendo's booth, they actually let him play a game. That was the other thing too.
Cool.
He didn't actually get to play many games with Sony and Microsoft. He played some some PSN game or something like that, but then he just watched someone play Rise, and it was really funny when he saw Rise, because he's talking to the guy. He's like, how long have you been working on this? I've been working on it for 3 years now, And he's like, oh, well, I hate to break it to you, but you spelled Rise wrong. It's pretty good.
Man's life is destroyed at that point.
Yeah. But it was pretty fun, and it kind of emphasized the point that everyone was having fun at Nintendo's booth. The games were all, really engaging. If you really played them,
Yeah.
If you looked at them, you may have just written them off. Okay, it's more of the same, but there's really a lot of fun with all of them.
Even losing, and yes, even if you get 8th place in Mario Kart, Kevin.
What? I didn't get 8th place.
Oh, I'm pretty sure you got 8th place. I'm pretty sure next time I'm getting a game capture card whenever we play. I want proof. But even though one of us were losing a lot of the time, I think we all still laughed at the end of the race. We were all laughing, and then at the end it was rematch. Okay, yeah, do it. Even I know this isn't a strictly Nintendo game, but even Cloudberry Kingdom, we died maybe 50 times, but we laughed every time that happened.
Yeah.
Such a good time.
And I like all those points. because of the article that Kevin read of mine about a month ago that I've rewrote like 4 times now. But that's kind of the point I'm having is like I don't understand why people don't think Nintendo and the other systems can coexist together.
Yeah.
Because as a gamer, I'm excited for the next Halo game. I'm gonna play those games. But like what all of you guys said, I come back to Nintendo to relax is a strong word, but still have fun, but yet relax. It's a different mindset when you play Nintendo games. Not shooting, killing people, stabbing things constantly. You can just jump on Koopas or
I still laugh
shoot shells at
when
people.
I do that. I still get hardcore into it, man.
Yeah.
I don't know about you.
and like I don't see why they can't coexist. And someone asked on Facebook, I think Kevin saw this in a nerd group we were in. They were like, well, why can't Nintendo make games for other systems and stuff like that? I'm like, well, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
I was like, as long as it's like that could be best case scenario. If there's this one system we can get all of our games on, that would be good. But that's not going to happen anytime in the next 30 years, and so we got to accept it and buy 2 systems if we want to play all these games.
Yeah, I completely agree because that argument is so invalid. It's like, why don't this company make their products on a competitor's and make them money, but I guess they'll make less money because of it, but there's just...
it makes no sense, yeah.
It's mind-boggling how people can think, why don't they just do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Why don't just put it on my iPad? Put Mario on my iPad.
Why doesn't Apple just make PCs? Because PCs are, there's more PCs. Why doesn't Apple just do that?
Right, yeah.
Why is Apple making cylinder devices in their designs? Oh god, I think that's a conversation for another time. God, that was terrible. But it is a very valid point. There's just a charm to it. For me, it's whenever I play a Nintendo game, I feel like I'm a kid again because I grew up with it and I had so much fun playing it then as I do now. And I feel like Nintendo brings that back for me. It brings back that joyous time I had when I was a kid playing games.
Mm-hmm. And like more when I think about it, I'm fine with people going to say this is going to be fanboyish. Well, Nintendo's not having shooters or all those action games. Those can stay on the Xbox or the PlayStation or the PC. Right. I'm fine with that as long as I get my Mario Kart, my Brawl, my Zelda, my Kirby, my Yoshi, whatever. Those are games I buy Nintendo for, not for Call of Duty or for even Madden per se or anything.
James.
You didn't buy it for Madden.
Yeah, exactly.
James, you said duty.
I think that's like the core point too. Why the Wii U's kind of struggled a little bit. There hasn't been one of those franchises, a big franchise that people buy a Nintendo system for. Sure, there was the new Mario Brothers for at launch, and there are some good games at launch, and there's still some good games right now. But there wasn't, people are like, oh, well, I'll get it when there's a Zelda, because I know I want to play the new Zelda, so I'll get it when that comes out. Or, oh, I'll get it when they come out with a 3D Mario, So I felt like there wasn't quite as big a game to really get people to go out. But I think after this holiday, we're going to look back on this year and be like, yeah, it's, the Wii is still going to do well and do better than ever. So.
Yeah.
I feel so bad because somebody mentioned Kirby, and I was like, there isn't a Kirby game on the Wii U yet.
Not yet.
Is the thing.
Yes, yeah.
Another Kirby Air Ride game, that'd be fun.
Mm-hmm.
I like Kirby's Air Ride.
Yeah. Maybe for the 25th anniversary of Kirby, which will be in 4 years.
4 years later, we'll probably have another Nintendo system.
Maybe.
They're going back to cartridges, baby. I'd be cool with it. I like cartridges.
Now let's go on to some reader questions.
Ooh!
There's one from Facebook, and we kind of already talked about this. Do you guys play other games and on other consoles? Any favorite console games you can mention? Start with anyone. Let's go. I'm a big Halo fan, as I've already mentioned.
I feel like I need to go over to my cupboard and put my games on and go, okay, which one?
I'm a big Kingdom Hearts fan. I was on the PlayStation 2.
Nice.
Minecraft.
Minecraft.
It's a fun game.
Yeah.
I like playing StarCraft.
Yeah.
A lot of craft going on.
Craft.
Yeah, I like StarCraft too. I guess like I'm kind of PC and Nintendo, so
StarCraft on the Wii U.
Yeah, StarCraft 2. Oh, StarCraft would be great on the Wii U.
We would lose Justin if that happened.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess like Far Cry 3. You know, I like that on the PC. It's on consoles too, but like games like that, Battlefield 3, stuff like that.
I'm gonna say franchise outside Nintendo. I'm gonna have to agree with Kevin. Kingdom Hearts is just fantastic, and I'm so excited they're doing 3 finally. And I would say currently, actually, I don't want to say this is my favorite game, but I currently picked up The Last of Us, and so far, I'm loving it. And I've only gotten into like the first hour of it, maybe. Like I'm only barely scratching the surface, and it's already that immersive. It's a lot of fun.
Right.
And our next question is, I think we already talked about this too. What do you guys think about F-Zero and Star Fox on certain future?
Go back to the beginning of the video and watch again.
Okay, I'm trying to. I'll just read it. I don't know what it says. I wish the new SSP and 3D for 3DS and Wii U would make more use of the in-game photos you can take, like similar to Stage Builder feature. Or if you can use those save photos and transfer them to a comic studio with toolbars and buttons and left slots side, which would give you colors and variety of things from stickers you can collect in the boxes and throughout boxes.
I'm sorry.
I'm confused.
What are your thoughts of having a comic studio in Super Smash Brothers?
Super Smash Photoshop.
Yeah.
Like so we can make comic strips of your battles or.
Oh, that actually that'd be kind of cool.
Images.
Yeah. Be interesting.
I got a feeling if that was an ability, we would be making like such hate comics to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have Kevin getting beaten up on my character, and Kevin saying, "I wish I was as good a player as you, and also as good as Mario Kart." That's all right, Kevin.
Yeah, but see, that wouldn't happen, so we don't have to.
Shut up! Don't destroy my dreams.
No, but that is an interesting idea. I've actually never thought of that.
That'd be pretty.
Yeah, so you can take a picture or screen capture of knocking your friend off and then send it to him. They kind of sucker.
Now it would. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I bet they will have some of that. You know, especially like on Miiverse, you can already share screenshots. So I bet they'll have some sort of like winning pose. You know, share on Miiverse or something like that.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I really hope that they expand more on the video thing. Like they're starting to get into that with Mario Kart 8. And I think with Smash Bros. That would be an interesting thing too, to put together like a highlight reel from the match or something.
Yeah, that would be
That
cool.
would be pretty awesome.
It would be cool if they did that, but it would actually edit it for you in a way. So we did like that winning kick or something. It would do like, you know, pan to the front, pan to the left, pan to the other side. You know, kind of make it seem like this big epic climactic hit that happened instead of just kick. Just a little kick.
Well, it would be kind of cool if you could do what you did in, was it 64? You may have done the other ones, but when you pause it, you can actually pan like 30 degrees
I always love doing that.
and rotate up and down. So
Yeah.
more 3D instead of that 2.5.
Yeah. I love doing that to like when you're fighting 3 other computers and you just dodge the last second and you pause and go.
Yep, I do that. I used to do that all the time.
I had a bad habit of playing with friends, and I pause it to do that and be like, "Quit pausing the game, man. We're in the middle. Sorry, bad habit."
Yeah, that'd be a cool feature.
That would be.
Well, that's all the questions and all that I have
Well,
in our talking episodes.
I want to ask you guys real quick, if that's okay,
Go ahead.
about
Is it?
Nintendo's new free-to-play game, Steel Diver.
Oh.
That's free to play now.
Well, no. They're coming out with a free-to-play game in the Steve Diver franchise.
That was a launch. Oh, say, wasn't Steel Diver a launch title for the 3DS?
Yeah,
Yep,
this is
it
a
was.
whole new thing in that.
Oh, it's a whole new one?
Yeah,
Well,
was it Iwata that was talking about it?
Yeah, it was Iwata, and he said it's a new experience based on the Steel.
Steve Diver.
Scuba Steve.
Yeah, Scuba Steve.
But I just wondered what you guys thought about all that.
Is this for the 3DS?
It's the Wii U, I believe.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's free.
It could be interesting. So some of the free-to-play stuff is a little like what was that Tank?
Yeah,
Then-
I was not impressed with that game.
Yeah, they made it free-to-play, and then you still had to like buy some stuff to upgrade, and I was just like,
Yeah,
I'm not-
level packs, I believe, right?
yeah, I'm not a big fan of that model.
Yeah. See, the only thing I don't mind if it's free to play, but you can still achieve everything. It just may take longer. I don't want to pay for levels, and I don't want to run out of playtime when you have like 5 levels to play, and they're like, wait 4 hours or pay $2 to play for all day.
Yeah.
No, that's a bunch of crap.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing with free to play is that when it's free to play, I'm almost guaranteed to give it a shot.
Yeah.
Like, I will download it, I will try it. Like Tank. I downloaded it, tried it,
Tried it, got rid of it.
didn't like it, and then said, okay, you're gone.
Yeah. Well, what was that? Was it on Vita or PSP? It was like a Ridge Racer game, but it literally had like 5 cars and 6 tracks or something. And then they're like, oh, then there's gonna be DLC to add 2 more cars and 2 more tracks or something. And it's like, there's not even a real game to begin with.
I think these guys took the idea of free way too like hardcore.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just like I hate if they're gonna do free to play. That's cool, but hopefully
Make me want to download it.
Yeah, hopefully it's a
Yeah.
good experience by default, and then it just gets better with whatever packs. You know?
Yeah. Now, what do you guys think about the Steel Diver franchise? Does it seem like a weird one to try out? Because to me, it does. I actually really like the game, even though it was too small for 3DS. There was enough, but it doesn't seem like a popular franchise for this to work on.
Yeah.
I would say that. It doesn't really inspire confidence with too many.
Well, and wasn't the 3DS version of that game like pretty bad?
It's a launch title.
I actually really enjoyed it. It's
Really?
only 10 levels long, and only 3 submarines. And so they padded it so you get medals for each submarine you beat each level. So technically it's 30 levels, but it's 10 levels, and you can pretty much you can beat the game in like 5 minutes. No, like 20, 30 minutes, literally.
Wow.
Man.
So that's-
Justin just left us.
That's the only thing that really concerns me, though, is that the 3DS one didn't seem like it did too well.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Well, hey, I mean, look at Red Steel. Red Steel 1 was Red Steel 1. I mean, I don't think anything more needs to be said. But then they tried it again later on. Maybe we could possibly get the same thing. I mean, Red Steel 2 I thought was a lot of fun.
Mhm.
Maybe we might get that same fun experience. And you did say it was on the Wii U?
Yeah.
I think the Wii U could utilize that a lot, especially for the gamepad. I mean, like, can you imagine the
Oh,
periscope?
yeah.
I think if you actually had to like look around and do that.
Yeah. You could do a lot with what was that pirate game that they showed 2 years
The
ago?
dancing thing?
Yeah.
Which
But
I
like-
think's,
Is that in
Right.
Game & Wario?
yeah, I think it's in Game & Wario. I think it's what they
Yeah,
did.
they had like private bands.
They put it in there. Anyways, but you could do some cool stuff with multiplayer and the asynchronous play with Steel Diver, I think, with the gamepad.
Mm.
So,
I hope it's not that periscope mode the whole time.
yeah.
That was terrible with the 3DS having to look around.
And
Yeah.
people look at, wait, what's he doing? You try to explain to him, I'm periscoping.
Games walk around his house like this.
Yeah.
No, he hops in the bathtub, you get the full experience, and he's running around going,
It's realism, okay?
Yeah.
you gotta immerse yourself.
$150 controller.
Yeah.
It's a big cardboard box submarine.
So, what games have you guys been playing this week?
Ooh.
J Money?
Um. I can't remember what I played last. Oh, New Super Mario Bros. U is what I was playing.
Yeah.
Still trying to complete that. So.
Yeah,
Tristan,
I was.
what Nintendo game you play?
Say what?
Tristan, what Nintendo game you've been playing?
Me, what Nintendo games I've been playing? I've been playing the crap out of New Super Luigi U, going on my Star Coin hunt to get them all. and I actually find it a lot easier to get star coins in New Super Luigi U than in the regular one, New Super Mario Brothers U, because in that one you're only given 100 seconds. You have to speed run through the level, and star coins are hidden, but not hidden to the point where you have to go out of your way to really look for them.
So, Justin, I want to ask both, I guess you and Tristan have been playing that. Is it worth $20? Is my personal question.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there's a lot of content, and some of the levels are really, really fun. Like, even in these first two worlds, there's some really ingenious ways they do some of the world layouts. And it looks like they're hiding a Luigi in the background in every single level.
Yeah, there's little Easter eggs, and there are also hints, possibly.
Yeah.
That's
So
what I found out.
there's lots of fun stuff, and it's not just like sometimes it's an 8-bit sprite of Luigi in the background, but then sometimes he's like in the dirt or something. So
Right.
like the dirt would normally have like a nautilus shell or some fossil or something like that. It has like a fossil of Luigi's face or something. So they do
Or
some
like
pretty cool stuff.
The Boo House did the same thing.
That's kind of funny.
yeah.
At E3 when we were playing New Super Luigi U,
Uh-huh.
person who was showing us this or guiding us through the stage, I guess, said, "Oh, and by the way, look at this," and he broke some blocks, and it showed the 8-bit Luigi, and we were like, "Oh, that's really cool."
Uh-huh. Yep. So there's a lot of that, and there's 80 plus levels now. Tristan, I haven't found any secret levels, and I looked at the Starcoin map, and there aren't like the secret worlds yet.
Well, I don't know, Justin. Are there any secret worlds? It sounds like to me that someone, apparently that Tristan's good at something, and Justin's not good at secret worlds. That's what it sounds like to me.
But you still haven't gotten the Starcoins in Mario Brothers U. So.
Man.
I'm going through a tunnel. I don't know. I'm sorry, guys. There's a tunnel. No, I haven't got those Starcoins then. But
Yeah.
in New Super Luigi U, I know there are some secret levels, as in worlds. I'm not 100%, but I do know there are. If you find that secret door, like let's say in one of the castles, it'll stray you off to let's see, like in the plant world or the jungle. I got all the way up to the cloud world, like already right there. So it's kind of one of those things. So I think there are the secret worlds still, but where they are is going to be completely different from the regular one.
Right.
I'm just collecting them all just so I can do the Star Road and I guess see if there's anything else hidden. Like it'd be cool if there was a mode where you could actually play as 8-bit Luigi.
Ooh, that'd be fun. Yeah.
I think it's worth it. I enjoy it. And, like the whole world layout is exactly the same. Like it's not like where level 1 was, it's not there anymore. It's like still where it is. But I actually caught myself like at the end of playing New Super Luigi, I go back to New Super Mario Bros. You going, wait, was this the same level or was it completely different? And sure enough, the levels are completely different.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was what really helped sell it. And I like that. At first, I was skeptical on it because I was thinking it's the exact same thing, but maybe a few twists and turns. But it is entirely it is the same game, but there are brand new levels. So, I mean, like you're really paying for 80 plus new levels, which I think is worth it considering how much fun New Super Mario Bros. U was or is.
I think it would be cool if there are those big games like New Super Mario Bros. U and they have like leftover ideas for them to do these $20, $30 games.
Yeah.
Even though they're somewhat similar, it changes things up. I think that's a fantastic idea.
Oh yeah. Well, kind of like Mario Galaxy 2, was kind of leftover ideas from the first Galaxy. They just made it into a full game, but I mean, we could potentially have like Mario 3D World, but new add-ons or something, which would be pretty cool.
Speaking of DLC, I know this is kind of off a bit. Would you guys pay DLC for, let's say, if a Zelda game came out and you could get like a new temple, like another temple or another part of the land to explore? Would you pay for that?
Nope.
I probably wouldn't. Yeah.
Wait, who said no? Who did it?
James.
I would.
You would?
So DLC for me needs to stay with like extra tracks or maybe extra characters in Brawl, not like the
Extra
rest of the
story.
game. extra stuff, not the rest of the game. I don't want DLC to be the rest of the game.
Yeah, see,
I see where you're going at with that. Like, I shouldn't have to pay money to unlock the rest of the game, kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's legit. I see it.
unless I agree with James, but unless like what if you finish the game is complete, but there's like this side quest that they allude to in the game, and then a year or two later they unlock that world, some side area.
So you can dive back into it 2 or 3 years. I could go for that possibly.
Because I mean, I look at Skyrim. I mean, Dawnguard. I mean, that was it's if I'm mistaken, that's in the same Sky. It's in Skyrim, but it's just another quest you downloaded. I mean, would you download another quest?
Yeah, possibly. I as long as everybody still has the same experience, because you start adding temples that could potentially affect the single player, then it's like I don't want my single player in pieces. It goes back to the whole thing with DLC about earning secrets versus paying for them. And old games you used to earn your secrets because you beat the game and you unlock the Star Road. And so I'm all about that, stuff like the Cave of Ordeals where you just unlocked it, found it, got all the way through it and earned some extra stuff. I'm more about earning it than paying for it. So,
That was
especially in a Zelda game.
I was sad that Skyward Sword had no Cave of Ordeals.
Yeah.
It could have utilized that so well.
Yeah.
You get tired.
Yeah.
Okay, I got this. My arm fell off.
Yeah.
Not again.
So who do we leave off with? Matt?
Sorry about that, Matt.
I've been playing some Mega Man 2, and then
Nice.
I just finished Phoenix Wright Trials and Tribulations.
Nice.
I still need to play the rest of those games to get pumped up for the 3DS one.
They're good games. Play all of them.
Yeah, you were quizzing me on it in LA. You were saying, so did you play this one, this one, this one? I was like, I've only played the first one. I'm sorry. I've also never played Professor Layton. I need to get on those.
Yeah, you do. My goodness, those are good.
Kevin?
I played a little bit of Zombie U.
Ooh, nice.
I've only made it
That's
like
pretty
40%, so I got I got a lot of work, and then I'm trying to finish up Ghost Trick on the DS.
Nice. I need to finish some of my launch Wii U games too.
Yeah.
I'll do that before Pikmin 3 comes out.
Don't worry, Kevin.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Kevin. When I find your zombified self, I'll smack you with my cricket bat with some dignity.
There's probably going to be a lot of them.
and they're probably going to be the ones that's going to end me. They're the ones that's going to kill my game.
All right.
Justin, you been playing anything else besides Luigi?
It's mostly been Luigi. Although I was playing a little bit more Mario. Katie's been playing Lego City Undercover, so I've been watching her play through that. That's a fun game too.
I still have to get into that.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I see her playing that a lot. Like I was like, oh, friends online. She's playing it. Man, she likes this game.
Yeah. She's almost 50% through, or 50%.
Only?
Well, 50% collected everything.
Oh.
Wow. Because she beat the game. You can beat the game at like 20%.
Ah.
So.
She's going all completionist. Got it.
That's discomforting.
There's a ton in it, but there's some fun stuff. Some cool Mario things in there.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Kimberly was playing Need for Speed Most Wanted just the other day, and it made me want to get on there.
I know. I need to get on there.
I
need to play some more.
I need to get these games you guys are playing online, because the only online game I have is Resident Evil Revelations.
Oh yeah, we need to play that some. But yeah, get Need for Speed. Kevin, get Need for Speed. Oh wait,
No, I need
or
to.
James needs to get.
I haven't.
I don't have it yet.
Yeah, Kevin.
I guess it's between either Need for Speed Most Wanted You or Sonic All Stars Racing, I guess. But it sounds like Need for Speed's the better pick.
Yeah, get Need for Speed.
Okay.
Or get both.
Or get both.
Both is good.
Allow me to pull this from my money tree.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good. You do that.
I hope I get to the point in my life where I can go, all right, sure, just give me a second, grabs controller. All right, it's downloading.
The difference between the two, though, is that I find that Sonic All-Stars Racing is a much longer game than Need for Speed.
Mm-hmm.
But Need for Speed, I think, probably plays better online.
Yeah. There's more variety.
And is Need for Speed as infuriating as Sonic? Because Sonic
Sonic
you
can
want to
get
rage
really,
quit.
yeah.
Have you ever tried playing it with the Wii remote? Oh my god.
That's a terrible idea.
The flying portions with the Wii remote are almost impossible.
How's the chat system on Need for Speed Most Wanted? You like? Do you just talk into the gamepad and you can just hear the other person?
Yes. And it really kind of depends on what the sensitivity settings are set to. Because if they're wrong, then all you get is like this crackling noise, and it's all bad.
Oh, because that's right. Because the mics can be so close to you.
Yeah, so it really kind of depends on what their sensitivity and stuff is set to.
Right.
But, for the most part, it works pretty well.
Gotcha. Cool. I have to look into that.
Awesome. Well, I guess that's it for this episode.
Where we talked about stuff.
Well, we talked about stuff, and then 2 weeks from now we'll talk about more stuff.
That's right.
Do we have to? Can't we just play Mario Kart on our 3DS? Just commentate, just have people just watch us play and watch.
We tried that with YouTube videos, and they came out weird.
Was that everyone's staring at the screen? Oh, did you see that? No one knows. I remember hearing about that.
Pretty much.
Guys, if you are here right now, over our shoulders, you'd love this.
I guess the question, Tristan, is: are you going to play this time?
Yeah. And we'll end with that.
No.
Until next time.
It is just beginning.